Hello, my name is Elena Volkova, and I will tell you about the improvements in our code generator related to being compliant with different static code analysis tools. During the sprint, we have started to look into this area, which is very interesting because when we are generating code, and I will now use this generate code preview feature that will quickly generate me the code for this project. So if we check that many parts of the code are generated automatically and the users do not have control over these parts of the code. So there are user sections written by users, but there are many things which are generated automatically. And in some cases, these parts which are generated automatically, they can cause different warnings printed by static code analysis tools. But in many cases, well, I would say in almost all cases, we know that these pieces of code are correct. So we have started to look into generating this code in such a way that it will be compliant with different static code analysis tools. So we have added in preferences, we have just a moment, it's here. So now we have added this section called code compliance, and as a first step we have started to generate code compliant with Clang tidy static code analyzer. If we click here, we can check that the description here for this code compliance and Clang tidy. So currently we are supporting only this check, CPP core guidelines prototype static cast downcast. So if we go here, this is the Clang tidy static code analyzer tool, and here is the list of checks. So actually there is a big list of checks, but of course when we consider our generated code, we will not we will not get warnings for all of these checks. So we have started to analyze which parts of the code are causing warnings, and for these situations, in most cases, we are just the solution is to generate suppressions, because we know that automatically generated code is correct, because it's not user handwritten code, but it's just by design that some constructs are causing warnings. But we know that these warnings can be skipped, and for this particular case, we are generating special comments starting with this no lint, which will just suppress these situations and warnings, and will remove these unnecessary reports from the generated code. So I will now show you how it works. So I will now remove all code preview, and so I will now generate again. This is now I was not using any of this. I think I was not using the option with code compliance. So now I will apply this, and I will generate again, and I will check what will happen in the generated code. So you see here in the code preview, we are marking the files that were updated. We are maintaining the previous version of the file, so now we can compare and see what is the difference. between these two files. And now we can see that before we did not have these special comments generated, and now we have added these special comments that will simply suppress the warnings. In this case, the warnings come to this static cast constructs, and for this transition function call, we even have two situations. Here we have a static cast, and for the second parameter as well we need a static cast, this happens because this function message SAP and message data, they are general functions from target RTS, and they return a super type. But for this particular transition, we know and explicitly we know what is the type of the port that is used, and that's why we need to cast a super type to a concrete type, if we check here in this list of checks, this is the check that we are now supporting, and there is also a suggested solution to use dynamic cast, so that is also an option, but we are not using this because we cannot assume that all our customers will be using a runtime type information with their compiler. So that's why in our generated code we are using a static cast, and this will cause a warning because we are doing a downcast with a static cast. But in this case, since this is automatically generated code, we are absolutely sure that we are casting to a correct type, and that's why it is safe to use these special comments. So the special comments, they are used inline, and they will suppress only warnings that point to this particular line. So in this case, we have two static casts, and both will be suppressed by this special comment at the end. So there are more situations here which are very similar, and there is one more situation for the guard. So it is also similar, and it is also solved by generating this special comment to suppress the warning message. So this is available in global preference, and you can set it for in your preference file for your project. Also, I would like to mention that this Clang tidy, it is also used in other tools. For example, now we'll support this Clang tidy for Clang tidy checks, but also automatically we will be supporting code checker because this is an infrastructure built on Clang static analyzer toolchain, and by supporting Clang tidy, we will also support all other tools which are built upon this static analyzer toolchain. So that's all. Do you have any questions?